Good evening once again, everybody. This is Davey Jones from our Pizza Hut Bucyrus with Coach's Corner West. We're in the Buckeye Central portion of the show, and our show is brought to you in part by Blythe Friedling and Todd McDougall at Friedling and Company Insurance up in New Washington. Ted Coder, Monarch Body Shop, Dutchtown. The Ohio State University Marion, a Big Ten education close to home. Mike Kleinert at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, Marion. Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center. Dr. Erica Schieber, Bucyrus Veterinary Service at 222 West Mary Street. And Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing, Signs, Route 309 right across from the Marion Depot. Our privilege to bring to the microphones Chad Jensen, the head coach of Buckeye Central, who lost a heartbreaker to Bucyrus 37-34. Coaches, you and I were talking a little bit on the email this weekend. I know you guys are disappointed, but from a standpoint of having a ball game on the radio, that was just absolutely one of the most exciting games we had on the air this year. You guys and Bucyrus rose to the occasion.
Yeah, you know, our kids played their hearts out and gave everything they had, and you know we never quit as a back and forth game. You know, we were behind, and then we were up, and then we were behind, and you know
you played well enough to win.
Yeah. I mean, I think both teams did. I think both teams would say the same thing.
You left it all out in the field.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we had we had a couple turnovers, and maybe some other things, but the bottom line is we had chances and didn't quite get it done.
Lots of big plays in this game on both sides.
Yeah. We gave up a couple big plays. We had some big plays on the offensive side, and it was just one of those things. We got late in the game, we got behind, but then we went right down and scored, and a couple breaks here and there could have been different, but.
Bottom line is what it came down to, and we didn't realize it at the time, but a 34-yard field goal by Bucyrus. When was it, in the third quarter, I think, that they got the field goal? Yeah. That was the difference in the ball.
Yeah, that was we were just glad at that point to get a stop, and the fact that we held them to 3, that was I didn't really look at it that way because we were just glad to get them stopped and not score a touchdown. Yeah. So we were just happy about that, but yeah, I guess so.
Derek Steen had another outstanding game. First quarter, a 3-yard touchdown run. In the second quarter, Steven Sostakowski,
very good, yeah.
And a 32-yard touchdown pass from Derek Steen. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, well, we had a matchup that we liked, and we put Steven out by himself, and Derek's made a nice strong throw, and Steven made one move and got a chance to score.
All right. In the second quarter, Manny Mullins with a 4-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, it was right before half, and we got a nice drive, and I mean, literally we scored with 3 seconds left, and that was a big play for us.
Manny Mullins again in the fourth quarter with a 2-yard touchdown run. He did a lot of work. He was a workhorse.
Yeah, well, Manny does lots of things for us. He's our number 1 ball carrier. He also catches passes and plays defense, so he's one of our most valuable players.
All right, and Derek Steen, a 10-yard pass to Manny Mullins in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was when we were down 10, and we scored in a minute. We went right down the field. We had 2 timeouts left, didn't have to use them, and went right down the field and scored, and give us a chance to have a chance to win the game.
All right, and basically, you were driving the ball when at the end of the game got picked off.
Yeah, well, we had 30 seconds and no timeouts, so we knew 40 seconds and no timeouts, and we knew we had to get some chunk yardage, but at that point I think it was 4th down. I mean, we were just trying to make a play.
All right, box score. You take a look at the box score. Total offense very, very close in total yards. Passing, I'm looking at this here. Bucyrus was rather even, and you guys a little bit more on the pass than you were on the run.
Yeah, we were behind, so we always try to take what they give us, but we were behind there, so we had to throw a little bit more later in the game.
All right. Manny Mullins had 98 yards on 18 carries and 5.4 average. And again, like you say, this guy's a real workhorse.
Yeah, I mean, Manny does lots of things, and he's a talented kid, and unfortunately, he's a senior, so we're gonna lose him.
All right, can't redshirt the guy. Huh?
No, well, he's played a lot, so I think he's out of eligibility. He's been a starter for us, 2-way starter since his freshman year.
All right, Steven Sostakowski, 4 receptions, 77 yards, 18.5 per catch. Tyler Sanderson. Looks like 8 receptions, 54 yards, 9 average. Heath Jensen got in there for 4 receptions for 54 yards. You guys had a lot of guys catching the ball.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that we do. You know, we take what the defense gives us, and it may not be one guy. We try to throw it to the open receiver. We have guys that can catch the ball.
All right. When you have a multitude of guys that can catch the ball, it probably makes things a little bit more comfortable. Is that a fair way to say it?
Yeah, I mean we don't have to rely on getting the ball to one guy. We don't worry about that. We throw to the guy that's open.
All right. Season stats. Derek's is completed 58% of his passes. I think he's number 3 in the league. 1,526 yards through the air, 14 touchdowns. That is a really nice season of work for anybody.
Yeah, no, he's had a great year for us. He's a junior, and this is his second year starting, and he's really improved from last year to this year. You could tell he's got a lot of confidence. He understands our offense and takes what the defense gives him really well.
All right. Now look at the receiving here. Tyler Sanderson, 42 receptions, 537 yards, 4 touchdowns. Trevor Kurgis, 23 receptions, 385 yards, 4 touchdowns. Heath Jensen, 18 receptions, 212 yards, and a touchdown. And Manny Mullins, 25 receptions, 186 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. And again, you go right back to the fact that you've got a multitude of receivers, and you don't have to play pitch and catch with one guy.
No, we take a lot of pride in our receivers catching the football and being able to throw it to any of those guys.
All right. We've got a lot of guys around the table here tonight. 3 freshmen, Josh Dorsey, Caden Jarvis, and Cade Daniel, and 1 senior, J.R. Martin. And we're going to talk to all these guys here in just one moment. Our show brought to you on the Coach's Show from Pizza Hut by the Burkhart family at Burkhart Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette Winchester Road. Rod Steiger at Pizza Hut, Bucyrus and Gallion, the host of the show since 1992. Tabitha Smith and everybody at Waycraft Industries. North Central State College, Mansfield, the Crawford Success Center, Bucyrus. Hannah Newton, Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus and Upper. The people at Plimal Insurance, Lee Plimal, Brad Seibert, Plimal Insurance Group, Bucyrus, and Gallion. Around the table we go. Freshman up, Josh Dorsey, O-line, D-line, and you play on the JV team mostly, right?
Yes.
I'd be amiss if I didn't point out that your JV team is having an exceptionally good season this year. Now 7-1.
Yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about that JV program. You're obviously playing offensive line, mostly on JV, correct?
Yes.
All right. So talk to me. You get some varsity time?
No.
No. So talk to me. What have you learned this year from being a freshman in the JV program of a 7-1 team? It's obviously that you see in some of the future.
Play more physical. Wrap up all my tackles.
All right, to give some coaching specifically on technique and making you a better football player. You play other sports besides football? Just football. Have you thought about basketball?
I played it last year, but I didn't really like it that much.
All right, so you're gonna do the big ones up front. All right, listen, buddy, I appreciate you stopping by. Feel free to come back. And we have Caden Jarvis, who's a running back and a linebacker. And Caden, are you playing mostly JV or
Mostly JV.
Mostly JV. You got some varsity time up?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. Talk a little bit about the success you guys have had on JVs this year. You got a good part of that.
Just working with the varsity, putting in hard workshop, the practice pays off.
All right. So basically, a scout team.
Yeah, scout team.
Right. You get beat up a little bit doing that?
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right. Other sports other than side? Other than football?
Baseball, basketball.
Okay, very good, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by. You feel free to come back as well. And Cade Daniel, wide receiver and defensive back, is also a freshman. Cade, mostly the freshman, the JV program?
Yes.
Any varsity time at all? No, not yet, huh? You're working on it. Talk a little about, this freshman program, some of the one year. I'm assuming you're seeing some time now.
Yeah, a lot of us are freshmen this year, all maybe a few sophomores. We just played well together. The first game of the year didn't start off too well, but we've shown a lot of improvement.
Which gives you one?
Colonel Crawford.
Colonel Crawford. All right, but since then you have not lost.
We won 7 straight since that.
So it's great. It's got to be pretty impressive and pretty proud. Other sports other than football?
I played basketball on track.
All right, what are you going to do to get better in the off season so Jensen has some happy folks to play with next year?
Just stay in shape. Track really helps with that. Helps you get faster. Helps you stay in shape. So
You probably wouldn't be upset if you hit the weight room. would he? All right, okay, I'm assuming that you're going to be doing that. Next to you is J.R. Martin, a senior wide receiver and outside linebacker. Now, is that something that you guys move around a little bit? Because you're kind of hesitant just to move it outside linebacker this week or not?
Yeah, I usually play corner, but last game we moved it outside linebacker in the end to get pressure on the guy.
All right, did it work?
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit? All right. So, he was a pretty good quarterback to have to kind of break in with, right?
Yeah.
What's the most difficult thing about trying to cover Malachi's outside?
His roll up. He rolls out like really wide, so you got to take like a wide angle to get to him.
All right. And he's rather evasive because I've seen him a couple times and somebody seems to close in. Seems to be able to turn a dime and go the other way.
Yeah.
So you got to go after him both sides, don't you? All right. Talk a little bit about your senior year. This is it for the last weekend coming up. How's it make you feel?
Good and bad.
Okay, what's the good part?
I don't know.
Well, what's the bad part?
I won't be with my friends.
Right. Yeah, this is it. So you got to, leave it all out in the field this week, right?
Yeah.
All right. Other sports other than football?
I used to wrestle and I run track.
All right. Good for you, buddy. I wish you a lot of luck on that. All right. We're going to break for a second. Come back to talk to Coach about the game coming up this week against Colonel Crawford. Details here in just one moment. Show brought to you by Roger Brown at Winks Lock and Safe South Poplar, West Warren, Bucyrus. Matt Ramsey, John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Highland, and everybody at Bucyrus Blades, serving worldwide markets since 1951. Rob Lust at Edgefield Animal Clinic, Marion. Matt Studer, Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Kia, a mile east of the Richland Mall. Coach Tim Plumley, Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. And Adam Weisner and everybody at Advanced Fiber Technology. And let's see, Coach, this week it's Colonel Crawford, and they've got heads. Everybody was picking them and Cary to be the number one teams in the league.
Right.
Cary beat them 7-3, and then they had a tough loss, I think, to Upper.
Right.
And last week they handled Mohawk really well.
Yeah.
What do we expect from Colonel Crawford?
Well, they're a really good football team.
They are.
And they're really fast and big and athletic, and anything you'd want with a football team. I mean, they run the ball really well. They have a really good quarterback that can throw it too. And on the defensive side, they're really aggressive. They fly around, so we're a really good team.
All right. Keys to success against a good team like that.
Yeah, we just want to get some stops. That's the thing on defense, is get some stops, get them off the field. On offense, we want to maintain drives. We want to keep their offense off the field. So maintain drives, take what they give us. That's going to be our thing that we want to try to do.
All right. Coach, it's always a pleasure having the radio. We'll look forward to your visit again next week. It's a wrap-up show, and we'll talk not only about Colonel Crawford, but more importantly, we'll talk about football season in 2023. We'd like to thank all of our guests for coming by this evening on the show and talking to us about the football programs at Bucyrus, Winford, and Buckeye Central. Coming up tonight, we've got Cleveland. You guys baseball fans?
Yeah.
We've got some shaking their heads at the guy down at the end who wants to be an outside linebacker, doesn't care about baseball. But the Indians against the godless New York Yankees will be on the radio at 6:35 tonight, which is already in progress. And the Indians are playing from Gotham City and against the New York Yankees. First pitch about 7:05 tonight on WQEL. Wednesday, it's Coaches East with Mike Sparks, Gallion, Colonel Crawford, Crestline. Friday, we have a couple of football games, Winford and Upper on 92.7 FM. And then we have River Valley at Gallion on 107.5 WBCO. If the Indians do not advance, we know we'll have Ohio State football against Iowa. Broadcast coverage begins at 10:30 on Saturday. If the Indians are still there, hopefully they're playing on Saturday night. Again, thanks to all of our guests from Bucyrus, Winford, and Buckeye Central. Thanks to Hannah and everybody else here, and Crystal Stewart at our Pizza Hut in Bucyrus. And we'd like to thank them for their hospitality. Also, Harper Boggs from the radio station, along with John Kreider for our engineering help here at Pizza Hut. On behalf of all of our guests and everybody here at Pizza Hut, this is Davy Jones. Have a good evening, everybody.